Hello everyone. In this series of the videos, we have already discussed about the root, stem, leaves, flower and inflorescence of flowering plant or angiospermic plant. Now from this video, I am going to talk about the next part of this plant, that is part number 6, fruit. Okay, so fruit is the most important organ of the flowering plant which differentiate angiospermic plant from all other member of the kingdom Plantae. Okay, so only angiospermic plant have ability to produce fruit. Okay, so it is the characteristic feature of angiospermic plant. And after successful fertilization, that means after transfer of the pollen grain from anther to the stigma, and then pollen grain get germinated on the stigma, and then male gamete transfer up to the ovary. And after successful fertilization of male and female gamete inside the ovary get developed to form fruit. Okay, so generally fruits are produced from developed ovaries. After fertilization, and we know that inside the ovary ovules are present and ovule get converted into seed. Ovule form seed. Okay, so if we study the individual member of gynoecium, which is carpel, we know that carpel have three important parts, that is stigma, style and swollen basal part, which is ovary. Okay, and ovary are generally present on thalamus. So this is the gynoecium, single individual member of the gynoecium, carpel. Okay, so first part is stigma, followed by style, ovary, okay, which is situated on thalamus or receptacle. Now, inside the ovary, generally ovules are present. We are going to talk about this in our future videos when I'm going to discuss about the fertilization of the angiospermic plant. Okay, so inside the ovary, ovules are present, and when pollen grain fall on the stigma, they get germinated on the stigma, and then male gamete transfer through style up to the ovary, and inside the ovary it fuse with the female gamete, and after successful fertilization, this ovary get developed to form fruit. Okay, so fruit is nothing but the developed ovary. Then the ovule which is present inside the ovary develop to form seed. So remember this thing, fruit is nothing but the developed ovary, while ovule going to give seed. Then in some plant the fruits are produced without fertilization, and such fruits are called as parthenocarpic fruit. Okay, because they produce without fertilization, generally such fruit do not have seeds, that means they are seedless fruit. An example of parthenocarpic fruit is grapes, banana, etc. Now the main thing which differentiate parthenocarpic fruit from the normal fruit is that they develop without fertilization, and the process in which such fruits are produced are called parthenocarpy, and the phenomenon is called parthenocarpic fruit generation process. Now, example is grapes and banana. Generally, we can define normal fruit as metamorphosed or ripened ovary with one or more seeds. So this is the definition of the fruit. It is metamorphosed or ripened ovary which may contain one or many seeds. If fruit develop from only or exclusively from the ovary of the flower, it is called as true fruit. Okay, that means true fruits are the type of a fruit which only develop from ovary. An example of true fruit is mango. While in some cases, other accessory floral oral like thalamus also take part in the formation of the fruit, and such fruit is called as false fruit. Okay, that means along with the ovary, other floral oral like example thalamus also take part in the fruit formation process, and example of false fruit is apple. Okay, in case of apple, the thalamus grow around the ovary at the time of fruit formation, and then it form main fleshy part which generally we eat. So apple is the example of false fruit. Then if we discuss about the part of the fruit, we can find two important part which is present in the fruit. Number one is fruit wall, which is called as pericarp, and number two is seed. Okay, so generally fruit of the angiospermic plant show two important parts, that is pericarp and seed. What is pericarp? It is nothing but the wall of the ovary. Okay, after successful fertilization, ovary get developed into fruit, and wall of the ovary form wall of the fruit, which is nothing but the pericarp. Okay, and in many cases pericarp generally divided into three different parts. Okay, so pericarp of the fruit show three parts: the outer thin membranous structure which protect the seed, it is called as epicarp. Okay, epi means above. So this is the outer covering of the fruit which develop from the ovary wall. Okay, so fruit wall is pericarp, and the first part of the pericarp which is present outside, it is called as epicarp. Then below the epicarp, main edible part is present, which is fleshy, pulpy, juicy, and this part is called as mesocarp. Meso means middle. So second part of the pericarp is mesocarp, and if we go inside, then the third part of the fruit is present, which is nothing but the layer or membrane around the seed, and this third part is called as endocarp. Sometimes this endocarp become thin, membranous, and hard in many fruits. Okay, so pericarp have three different types: epicarp, which is the outer covering; mesocarp, present in the middle; and endocarp. And inside the endocarp, next part of the fruit is present, which is nothing but the seed. So this is the seed of the fruit. Fruit may contain one, two, or many seeds depending upon the ovary, and generally ovule which is present inside the ovary get transformed into the seed. Okay, so this is all about the some introductory points related to fruit. Number one is formation of the fruit is the characteristic feature of the angiospermic plant or the flowering plant. Then generally fruits are produced from ovary after successful fertilization. Okay, and ovule develop into the seed. Sometimes fruits are produced without fertilization. Such fruits are called parthenocarpic fruit, and phenomenon is called parthenocarpy. And generally these fruits are seedless. Example is grapes, banana. Then the fruit can be defined as metamorphosed ripened ovary with one or many seeds. And if the fruit is developed only from the ovary, it is called as true fruit. Example is mango. And if along with the ovary, other floral oral like thalamus take part in the fruit formation process, it is called as false fruit. Example is apple. In case of apple, thalamus grow around the ovary and take part in the fruit formation process. Then generally fruit have two parts. Number one pericarp and number two seed. Pericarp is the wall of the fruit which again divided into three subtypes, that is, or three subparts, that is epicarp or the part which is present outside, then mesocarp or the middle part, and endocarp, which is nothing but the cover around the seed. And the second part of the fruit is seed. So this is all about the introduction of the fruit. Now we're going to see a classification of the fruit. Okay, so fruit is generally classified into three basic types. So first type of the fruit is simple fruit. Second type is aggregate fruit. And third type is composite, or also called as multiple fruit. So these are the three important type of the fruits. Okay, number one is simple fruit. It is the type of a fruit which is developed from the monocarpellary or polycarpellary syncarpous ovary of the single flower. That means this is the fruit which is developed from the single flower. Okay, and the type of ovary which produce simple fruit is monocarpellary or polycarpellary, but syncarpous ovary. That means monocarpellary means flower have single carpel. That means stigma, style, and ovary, single structure is present in the flower. It is called as monocarpellary ovary. Or sometimes poly means multiple such structure is present in a single flower. But in both the cases, polycarpellary ovary should be syncarpous. Syn means fused. Okay, multiple carpel in the flower must be fused with one another, and such flower produce fruit which is called as simple fruit. Then if single flower which is generally contain polycarpellary but apocarpous ovary, okay, that means polycarpellary apocarpous ovary produce aggregate fruit. What is polycarpellary apocarpous? Polycarpellary means the single flower have multiple carpel, and apo means three. It is opposite to syncarpous. Apocarpous means flower contain carpel which is free from one another. That means style and stigma are generally free from one another. And every carpel of the flower give rise to one part of the fruit which is called as fruitlets. Okay, and now all the fruitlets come together to form a single fruit. So it is called as aggregate fruit. It is nothing but the aggregation of the fruitlet. Okay, so in aggregate fruit, fruitlets are present. And the last type is composite fruit, also called as multiple fruit. In this type, instead of a single flower, entire inflorescence, entire group of the flower take part in the fruit formation process along with the peduncle. Peduncle means in the inflorescence section, we have studied in detail about the different type of inflorescence and peduncle. It is nothing but the reproductive axis on which group of a flower arise. Okay, so in this case, entire inflorescence take part in the fruit formation process along with peduncle. Okay, now remember that mono or polycarpellary syncarpous ovary after fertilization produce simple fruit. Then polycarpellary apocarpous ovary after fertilization produce aggregate fruit, and entire inflorescence take part in the fruit formation process. It is called as composite or multiple fruit. Now this simple fruit on the basis of their nature is again divided into two types. So simple fruit is divided into two subtypes as dry fruit and fleshy fruit. Okay, so what is dry fruit? In dry fruit, it is the type of a simple fruit in which after maturation, this epicarp or the wall of the fruit become thin and dry. Okay, so they are called as dry fruits. While in case of fleshy fruit, after maturation, this wall of the fruit remain fleshy or juicy or pulpy. So they are called as fleshy fruit. Now the dry fruits is again divided into two subtypes. That is, number one, dehiscent type of dry fruit and indehiscent. Okay, so in case of dehiscent type of dry simple fruit, generally the epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp, that means pericarp of the fruit, get breakdown after maturation of the fruit. Okay, and this is happened for proper dispersal of the seed. So in this type of fruit, generally fruit break after maturation. So they are called as dehiscent type of fruit. And in case of indehiscent, the pericarp of the fruit remain intact after maturation. Okay, so simple fruit is divided into two types, dry fruit and fleshy fruit, while the dry fruit is again divided into two types, dehiscent and indehiscent, depending upon breakdown of the pericarp after maturation. Now, generally fleshy fruits are indehiscent type of fruit. They do not show breakage of the or breakdown of the pericarp after maturation. Similar to the simple fruit, aggregate fruits also divided into subtype on the basis of type of fruitlets they produce. While composite fruit is divided into different types on the basis of type of inflorescence. Okay, we know that there are two important type of inflorescence, that is racemose and cymose. And which type of inflorescence take part in the fruit formation process will going to decide subtype of the composite fruit. Okay, so this is all about the classification of the fruit. I'm going to discuss in detail about every type of a fruit in my future videos. Okay, so generally fruit have three types: simple, aggregate and composite. Simple fruit is again divided into two types: dry fruit and fleshy fruit, and dry again divided into two: dehiscent and indehiscent, while aggregate and composite fruit are distinguished or differentiated on the basis of type of fruitlet and type of inflorescence respectively. So this is all about the introductory part of the fruit. Thank you.